Well, finally, a little bit of good news for justice as it appears.
Any updates? Will Raja Jackson be arrested from what you're hearing?
Yeah, there's not a doubt in my mind. Everything's on.
After spending more than a week in hospital in critical care, he is now at home convalescing, according to his Facebook post on his...
Mr. Jackson has officially been locked up as of September 5th, confirmed straight from Doug Mallow himself. After weeks of frustration, speculation, and the LAPD dragging their feet while the internet went absolutely wild, the news finally dropped. Raja is behind bars. But here's the thing. This isn't just another flashy headline that comes and goes in the endless cycle of internet scandals. No. This story is turning into something much bigger.
From a decent source that there are lawyers involved, but that was on the internet. I think it was X posted it, and then a couple other ones. Straight to jail.
That's where Raja's going.
There's also one thing that needs to be cleared up from last week's podcast. You were talking about the crack.
This moment marks the absolute breaking point, shattering every excuse, every delay, and every half-hearted denial that had been thrown around for weeks. People were glued to their screens day after day, replaying footage, dissecting every frame, debating every detail, and waiting for law enforcement to finally act. But nothing happened. That silence only poured gasoline on the fire. Millions of views stacked up, comment sections erupted, and theories spread like wildfire across every corner of the internet while the LAPD stayed frustratingly quiet. And then all at once, everything changed. One bold move, the lawsuit, dropped like a hammer, and suddenly the dominoes started crashing down, faster and harder than anyone expected. The internet had set the stage. The public had
never in my life allowed them to be in any type of danger to themselves, to their livelihood, their lives, their family's livelihood. I'm responsible for this person. I'm their coach, right? So what I was saying is that he
wasn't just some dry, boring legal paperwork. Syko Stu's lawsuit hit like a knockout punch. He went straight at Raja, accusing him of deliberate, premeditated assault and demanding serious damages, leaving no room for half measures. Doug had already teased that lawyers were circling and he wasn't bluffing. But the moment the filing officially landed, the energy around the case shifted completely. Suddenly, it wasn't just speculation or online chatter anymore. This was real, high-stakes action. The lawsuit became a catalyst, igniting public outrage, fueling discussions across every social media platform, and setting the wheels in motion for a chain reaction that authorities could no longer ignore.
And someone said this to me. They go, how would you feel if that happened to you?
At first, because I was kind of in shock. I saw Stu, I saw the punches, it felt like slow motion. I'm looking around, I'm looking at Stu's friends staring at me, not running in. I'm only running.
The internet had already been buzzing with clues. Posts on X, Reddit threads, and even smaller boards dropping hints that legal sharks were circling, but nobody expected the story to explode this fast. The moment Stu's lawsuit officially hit, the LAPD's hand was forced. The public erupted, demanding action, and the evidence wasn't hidden in some dusty file. It was right there on live streams for everyone to see. The timing couldn't have been more telling. Lawsuit first, arrest immediately after. A textbook case of real-time pressure snapping into action. And that's why this filing packed such a punch. Stu wasn't just a victim of a brutal attack anymore. He became the face of a larger fight for accountability. His recovery has been painstakingly slow, supporters rallied behind him, and when the legal team stepped in, Raja was finally cornered, left with no way to dodge the consequences. Suddenly, what had seemed like an endless saga of delays and excuses transformed into a full-blown moment of reckoning.
I got that wrong in a second. Okay, it turns out that it was a cattle ranch that he was a part of with Syko Stu. Okay, important note before I talk any more.
People didn't just watch, they roared. Comment sections flooded, outrage erupted, and in no time, this wasn't just some niche wrestling scandal anymore. It was everywhere, blasting across timelines, feeds, and every corner of social media nonstop. Then came the real game changer, YouTube's brand new hype feature. At first, nobody fully grasped just how powerful it could be, but this video became the blueprint. Fans didn't just click, like, and scroll away. They hyped it over and over, boosting visibility and making sure the algorithm couldn't ignore it. Each hype pushed the video further, the conversation spilling into every community, every platform, until the story escaped the bounds of simple content. The more the fans rallied, the faster it spread, and suddenly, what began as a single viral clip transformed into a movement, real-world pressure mounting on authorities, making it impossible to sit on the sidelines.
More than my bad.
He kept punching him to 22 times.
Well, here's
kill
the
him.
question. Let's say those guys didn't
The hype spread like wildfire. Numbers skyrocketed. Conversations flooded every corner of social media, proving how internet exposure can bend reality. Without that podcast and millions of views, LAPD might have kept stalling. But fans hyped the story into a boiling point, and justice finally moved. Doug and Ian blasted a spotlight on a case many wanted buried. And when Doug confirmed Roger Jackson's arrest live, it wasn't just news, it was vindication for Stu, for fans. And for everyone who knew this wasn't just a wrestling scuffle, but something darker, requiring real consequences. With Raja in custody and a lawsuit filed, the story moved from online chatter into the courtroom. Doug spoke with LAPD detectives dissecting every detail, focused on one key question. Was this just a fight gone wrong, or had Raja planned something more sinister? Doug worried he might be in trouble too, but was reassured he wasn't the target. Normally, cases drag on for months, even years, but this time, viral outrage, the lawsuit, and detectives circling premeditation finally snapped everything into place. And just as it seemed calm, Doug's TMZ interview blew up, with the internet twisting his words and rumors flying, proving just how wild and unpredictable this saga had become. His craze flew that Rampage Jackson had secretly cut checks to Doug to bury the scandal. Forums and comment sections erupted, claiming Doug had taken the money and switched sides. But Doug being Doug, he didn't just deny it, he joked, "If Rampage wants to pay me off, cool, $1 million. But I'm not changing my opinions. No bribe would ever sway him." And to be clear, Doug's stance was never about letting Raja walk free. He wanted real consequences, but balanced with mental health evaluation, justice, not cruelty. Meanwhile, Syko Stu, at the center of this storm, was quietly fighting a battle far bigger than courtroom drama. Stu is finally out of the hospital, but his recovery has been anything but smooth. Doctors treat him like glass, managing every move carefully because a single misstep could undo months of healing. On top of a major head injury, he's battling PTSD from the ordeal. Early on, doctors even framed the story as a ring injury to protect his fragile mind. But the internet never sleeps. Trolls amplified every detail, twisting narratives for clicks, while Stu can't even see the chaos for his own safety. The saga is far bigger than Raja's arrest. It's about detectives investigating premeditation, Doug being dragged through the mud by online rumors, and Stu coping with trauma he never asked for. None of them wanted this storm, but once the video blew up, the lawsuit landed, and TMZ twisted the story, control was gone. Doug thought the worst was over when LAPD finally made the arrest, but trolls weren't done. Hate comments flooded in, accusing him of lying, clout chasing, or even attacking a minor, despite him praising a 17-year-old hero, Elias, who risked himself to intervene. Every scroll forced Doug to relive the trauma, turning online hate into a life-or-death stress. Now, Raja faces the fight of his life in court. Detectives are dissecting every conversation, looking for signs of planning versus chaos, and Doug's testimony is crucial. Even reassured he isn't a target, the scrutiny is intense, and the internet spins its own narratives faster than anyone can follow. Stu, fragile but determined, continues his recovery under strict supervision, with doctors shielding him from online toxicity. Doug and Ian's platforms remain the only place to shine light on the truth, clarifying the chaos and reminding the public that consequences are real. The courtroom looms. Raja must face justice, Stu must continue healing, and Doug navigates the fallout of a story gone viral. This isn't just a wrestling scuffle, it's a fight for accountability, transparency, and truth. The internet set the stage, but the real drama begins under the law, where evidence, testimony, and justice finally take the lead.